Hi, I'm Jessica Gu, psychologist from Auckland Mental Wellness Centre. Today, I'm going to talk about two things. First of all, when you're already thinking about talking to a professional, how to find a therapist. And second, how a psychologist make a decision about who to see. So first of all, for many of us, going to see a psychologist or therapist for the first time is very anxiety provoking. Not only talking to a stranger about their problem, but also deciding that the issue you're facing is more than you can handle alone. So this is a very difficult decision to make. But it ultimately puts you on the pathway to a better mental health in general. And you can make a big step to be a healthier and happier you. Now the trouble is, when I search online and search for therapists, I get a lot of names with a lot of different titles, like counselor, social worker, psychologist, psychiatrist, or so many others. So now, how can I pick the right one, and how do I decide who to see? So if you are new to the world of psychotherapy, so I would encourage you to start by asking your friend, your family, or your doctors for referrals, or you can simply search online. So when you're choosing a therapist, most people would know about what kind of what gender or age group or ethnic group or language they speak or expertise that you prefer to work with. Then you can search for the possible candidate. You want to make sure that they have the tool to solve your problem. And then you can have a look at the therapist's website. It should have all the information about their education, qualification, expertise, and everything. So it is important for people to read the therapist's website or their profile to see if they are saying anything about the area of expertise. So the therapist typically would specialize in some areas like anxiety, depression, or substance use, families or children, young people, child mental health, or couple counselling, or family counselling, or more than that. Okay, so a lot of this information should be listed on their website. Okay, then after you've looked at their website, you already made a short list of professionals who you are thinking of seeing. So either based on their qualification, education, specialty, or their proximity to your home or workplace, or their office hours, or recommendation by others. So once you narrow down to a few therapists who look promising, it is time to make a quick consultation call. So those consultation calls will normally take about 15 minutes, and you will need to tell them a bit about your background and what kind of issue or what specific issue that you're facing. For example, you can say, I'm feeling anxiety, I'm feeling anxious, depressed, or sad, stressed, and I have problem at workplace or with my marriage or with my partner or children. So you need to tell them a little bit about what your background and what kind of problem you're struggling with. So during the consultation call, and you will also have the opportunity to ask them a few questions. That's very important for you to know about the therapist. For example, their qualification, their specialty, are they registered? Are they licensed? So I think it's very important for you to find, to look for a licensed professional, registered counselor, or registered psychologist, psychiatrist, and how many years they've been practicing psychology or their area of specialty, or and their experience with your particular issue and their success rate. So, so you can ask, what experience do you have helping people with those kind of issues, and what kind of treatment or models that you use, have they been effective for dealing with my kind of issue? Or it is also a good time and good point to ask about their fees and their availability. Okay, now you've called several therapists, and if you have found someone that you really like, then you can think about making the initial appointment with him. Even after the initial assessment or appointment, you don't have to determine whether you've picked the right one or if there is a right match. It can take time to determine that if you have picked the right therapist. If you don't feel comfortable, then you don't have to go back. Then let's move on to the part two, the second part. I'm going to talk about how therapists or psychologists pick and choose who they see and under what circumstances. People would like to think that the therapist or psychologist will see every patient that walks through their office door, but actually it's not. There are a lot of reasons, a variety of reasons that psychologists won't see you, and most of them probably would have something to do with the professional ethics. So for psychologists, for us, we adhere a code of ethics. So these guidelines are designed to keep psychologists from harming client in regarding to issues such as boundaries, dual relationship, and confidentiality. So, for example, dual relationship. When a psychologist enter into a therapeutic relationship with a client, they should not have any other relationship with that person. For example, employee or friend or neighbor or teacher or family member. And if your psychologist is seeing someone else in your family, a close friend or someone have a close relationship with one of these people, unless the psychologist is specifically doing family or children or couple counseling, most psychologists would try to avoid seeing people who they know one another in a close or intimate manner. The other condition could be that you have a trait or you have some component of your history that the psychologist choose not to work with. For example, someone feel ineffective working with certain type of people with certain kinds of problem. A new therapist or psychologist, for example, who refuse to work with anyone with high risk or a personality disorder in their private practice. Because of the complication it can bring to treatment. And they may feel not safe around a certain type of client or a client with certain type of concerns. If a psychologist recognizes they can't work with certain client, they will normally acknowledge it as early as possible in the therapy. So it maybe refer them to a colleague for continuing treatment. And the other thing could be that they have worked with you in the past and they feel they've done everything for you and there's no room for additional therapy, or they have no room in their schedule now to take you on. Sometimes psychologists feel like they've already done all they can for a person after therapy has ended, and they don't see a point in opening the door again. It may feel like they are not being that's not fair to you, and they should take on the past client no matter what. But psychologists sometimes have to make a decision about who to see and whether the person will benefit from additional therapy. And the last one is my favorite. In my professional experience, I wouldn't take on any client if they don't trust me 100%. In my opinion, I think the client should trust their psychologist 100% in order to get the full benefit of therapy. So if they don't trust me, if they feel that they have to lie to me, or if they have to withhold important information, then they are not going to get any real help from me. I did have clients who clearly came to therapy with different agendas. They are not honest with me. The information is not truly shared. Then I don't think I'm going to help them. Okay, at the end, I hope you can find a therapist or psychologist that you feel comfortable with. Good luck with that. Please visit my official website, aucklandmentalwellness.com, or Facebook page for more information. See you next time.